What's up, YouTube land? Xeno Gaming here, and welcome to the season finale, the final episode of Season 1 of the F1 2021 My Team. This will be episode number 19 for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and looking forward to this one. Not the race so much, just the more looking forward to the end of the season. It's taken me a long time to get through it, way too long, and finally, hopefully can get some more consistency playing this game over the next couple of years. But anyway, obviously there's a big regulation change. We've sorted everything out for that. We don't have any more parts to adapt. We're going to jump straight into qualifying. And looking for a strong end to the season, of course. But also, look at you may not like this racetrack, but it has got a beautiful surroundings around it with the feeling it has to this one Prix. It is a great spectacle. But anyway, here we are, straight in the qualifying. Q1, first lap, first run in Q1, first set of tyres, and a 35.1. So not the most competitive time compared to Schumacher there on a 34.8. So definitely had some time to find. We went again on the same set of tyres as I always do. Normally I do improve on my second lap, but the tyre didn't have it in it to improve on the second lap here around this track, so had a big slide there in the last corner. But you can see we're 3/10 off our personal best. So at the end of the session, as I always do, put on a new set of boots, and here we go. We're going to show this lap in full. Will be the last lap in full I show you this season, of course. So coming up to the line and starting our lap, and coming into turn 1, braking just after the 100-metre board, back down the 4th gear. Plenty of inside curb, outside curb as well. Nice line through there actually. Looking back, I had to have a small lift in these two corners. I just didn't have the confidence to stick with it flat, or else I felt like the car would spin. Coming into 4 and 5 in 3rd gear, and then into 6 with into 2nd gear. I'm glad I won't have to be doing that chicane too much longer, and it will be just straight into the hairpin run with the changes to the circuit. So coming in to this chicane, which is still exists, of 7 and 8, looking for the 100-metre board. Back down the 2nd gear, trying to hit that curb on the inside. We've missed it there, and now trying to hit the curb on this side as well. Only a little bit, not completely. I'll see just go wide.
Down to P18.
Thank you, Jeff, for that unimportant information on my hot lap. Now coming into this next chicane, which has been removed. I've always enjoyed this chicane, but actually on this game, this is really the first time, I've really driven this track on this game properly. I haven't done any league races around it. I've never liked that last part there, that left-hander. I've always enjoyed the first 3 corners of it though. So yeah, and I've always hated this section of track as well. It's very, I don't know, the car didn't feel, honestly this car, I wasn't very comfortable with the car. You see I'm missing apexes there, and we are up on our time, but I just wasn't fully comfortable with my car. Wasn't comfortable in this corner either, or this corner either. It just felt like, yeah, the car didn't have any it didn't turn in, it felt like it, but we set our lap time there. We just get through to Q2. Norris with quite a competitive time up there. Bottas with not such a competitive time there for Mercedes. But we just squeaked through. Boy, look at that 1/1000th of a second over Mick Schumacher. So I think the car is definitely maybe with a better setup. I don't know. Yeah, I just didn't feel like I had great rotation in the car. It felt lazy in the front end. A lot of understeer. Not great to drive, to be honest. So maybe I'll have to work on that next time I come to this track. Maybe just this car, yeah, it's really, this track maybe just shows our car's weaknesses quite a bit. As we come through to now Q2, and this is our first lap on a used tyre, the tyre that we just set to get through to Q2 with. And we do a 35.4, it was, we did a 34.6 in Q1, so 0.8 slower on a used tyre. And now we come through on the new tyre, and this lap was looking decent, but I made a mistake at that chicane at the end of the 2nd back straight, and then I made some mistakes here in the last sector, and then at the last corner I spin the car here. But it didn't matter because George Russell's time was a 34.7, so I wasn't going to beat that anyway. It was only up by half a second, which would be now 34.9. So the spin wouldn't have mattered. We're still in 16th position on the qualifying. So Ricciardo actually fastest here with Norris in 2nd. Obviously the two Mercs have gone on the medium tyre, including Max Verstappen as well. But yeah, no, just not fully happy with the car here in qualifying. So hopefully it's a little bit better with more fuel in the race. But I didn't really enjoy it in practice either. But anyway, give it to Crofty now for the race.
It's time then for one final race in this year's Formula One World Championship. 2010 saw 4 drivers in contention for the title coming into this race, with Sebastian Vettel prevailing to become the youngest world champion to date. Is there one last sting of the tail awaiting us today? Well, it's time to find out. Here comes the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We have 21 corners here at the Yas Marina circuit, 12 to the left and 9 to the right. It's a total lap distance of just over 3.4 miles. There are 2 long back straights opening up some passing opportunities into the braking zones, and we expect average lap speeds of around 123 miles an hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Esteban Ocon and Hamilton, Giovinazzi, Gasly, Stroll and Daniel Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Jackson, Lando Norris and Lundgaard, Latifi, Mick Schumacher, George Russell and Nikita Mazepin, Tsunoda, Raikkonen, Sainz and Sergio Perez completes our grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So, welcome everybody to the season finale of Season 1, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We are now starting 12th on the grid after more engine penalties, which we obviously took our penalties earlier at Mexico and USA. This is why we're not being as affected in these races. So, hopefully we can have a good race here at Abu Dhabi, a clean one, and we'll see how everything unfolds here. You got Ricciardo in 10th and Norris in 13th. Those McLarens are probably the second quickest car around this track as well, so they're going to be looking to fight forward. You got Bottas on pole. Hamilton and Mercedes are world champions.
Will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
So we're going to have the 5 red lights here for the season finale in round 20 at Abu Dhabi. And let's go here, and we get a really good start. We're straight away past Alonso and Ricciardo, and we're side by side with Stroll as we go into turn 1. We have to avoid Giovinazzi coming in there, but we do that successfully. And we're up to 9th. We've gained 3 positions on the short run at turn 1. What a start on the soft tyre. And now we'll see what we can do at Stroll and Alonso going side by side behind us. And I think Stroll is going to come out on top on that one. They're still side by side. And here I've got to be careful not to run into the back of Giovinazzi, trying to get a good run here. He's on the medium compound tyre, so we'll see if we can get the run on him down to the chicane here. He actually has a pretty decent run. We're in his slipstream here. We're closer to him than he is to Gasly, but he's still pulling away with that Ferrari power unit in the back of his Alfa Romeo as we come into the chicane and almost run into the back of him. But we open the corner up nicely here. He's got a bit of a tighter line. We get a much better exit, and with the grip we use from the soft tyre, we got right underneath his rear wing, and now we're getting a really good slipstream here. Using our overtake mode, we turn it off. Actually, we're side by side. We're still pulling alongside him, and we're going to outbrake him here into the chicane and get the job done and move into 8th place. So that's a good start to this Grand Prix in the points already, and now we're going to see if we can settle into that rhythm that I always talk about and see if we can settle into this race. So, but like I've been saying, I haven't felt comfortable. We can see another missed apex there. Just haven't felt comfortable with this car around this track. The front end feels lazy, and I feel like I haven't got good turn in. I don't know, maybe I'm just driving poorly. It's probably a bit of both, but I think it's more the car, a little bit of talent as well. I'm not the best at this game, obviously, but yeah, we move on now to lap 3, and you can see Gasly's pulling away from us by a couple of seconds already, and we've got Giovinazzi, who's now got DRS attacking us. So I'm going to defend to the inside, he goes to the outside, and remember, he's on the medium compound tyre, and he's still attacking us here, and we outbrake him just about into the chicane, and he's not able to get through on this occasion. But we now go on to the next lap, and he's attacking us again with DRS. You've also got Stroll behind, waiting next in line, but Giovinazzi to the outside here. But once again, we're going to go later on the brakes here, but he cuts across. There's actually a bit of contact there on his rear tyre to my front wing. Luckily, no damage for either of us. No puncture for him, no front wing damage for us. But now we get DRS and we make an easy pass back on the straight. So this has been a good fight so far, but we're starting to lose a lot of time to Gasly ahead. You can see he's now 4.6 seconds ahead after just 5 laps. And once again, Giovinazzi attacking us. Yeah, and this is a worrying sign that I just could not pull away from him without, you know, the assistance of while we hit that curb poorly. We go off the track a little bit there, but he didn't take advantage of it on this occasion. Really concerning here that I haven't been able to pull away from him while I'm on the soft tyre, while I had the best of the soft tyre, and now he's attacking me. He goes again, he hits the curb there, comes into me. Luckily again for both of us, no damage, but it's really frustrating. You see Gasly's now 6.2 seconds ahead. He's just pulled a second and a half, 2 seconds in a couple of corners there, because we're just fighting so hard. We're holding everybody up behind, including the 2 McLarens. But here he comes again on lap 8 now, Giovinazzi. We held him off for a couple of laps, but now he's coming at us again, and he's up the inside this time. We leave him the space, he can't get through, and we now have Charles Leclerc. He's behind in this train as well. He's overtaking Stroll at the minute. He's come in from a pit stop. You can see Gasly's also had a pit stop as well. That's why he's no longer in front of us. But now we move on to lap 9, and now Giovinazzi again attacking us here. And again, he goes to the outside. Really weird here. I actually didn't defend on this one. I was just taking the racing line. He goes to the outside again. We leave him the space, and this time he passes us again. He doesn't get a great exit out of the chicane, and we now have the DRS because we were behind it at the detection point. And we once again repass Antonio Giovinazzi, and Leclerc overtakes him as well. And we actually defend here to make sure that Charles doesn't come steaming down the inside. He tried to at least, but it doesn't happen there this time for Charles. But really just losing a lot of time battling these guys. And we now coming through the final corner here, and Charlie actually gets such a good run on the medium tyre, probably using battery as well, and he just simply overtakes us. But we fight back again into turn 1 as our teammate pits here. So reason I fought back there into turn 1 is because I wanted the DRS at least on the second straight to see if I could pull a gap from Giovinazzi potentially, because I don't know if Giovinazzi is actually faster than me. I think he's just keeping up in the track, and then he's using the DRS to pull. So I'm hoping, you can see he's now out of the 1 second zone of Leclerc, Giovinazzi. So what I'm hoping is here Leclerc overtakes me here, which is going to be quite easy for him. He zooms past. I'm going to let him go. See Giovinazzi within 7/10. The goal was here to get a good enough run through,
but we've seen a problem at our end. We're looking into it
to get through this chicane and have him out of our DRS. He wasn't, but as Jeff just said, we have an issue apparently, so we're going to have to monitor that now. And we haven't had an issue for a while. Our car's been pretty reliable, but yeah, we've got a bit of an issue on the car itself, so we'll have to sort that one out as we come through this final sector here. And yeah, not sure what that issue is as of yet, but
okay, looks like a mechanical failure. We're going to have to ask you to find a safe spot to retire. Sorry about that.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Find somewhere to retire immediately. It's too dangerous.
Pressed the wrong button there, but yeah, this is a really disappointing end to our season. A mechanical failure, and we weren't having the best of race anyway. But I was hoping that the race would come to me in the second half of the race when we got off this soft tyre, which really just wasn't performing very well. I was hoping that would be much stronger on the medium compounded tyre.
That was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
I didn't crash, but anyway, yep. The car's failed, unfortunately, to end our last season. So, really disappointing way to end the season here, as we now...
It's been a roller coaster season then, but they can go into the winter with their heads held high after an emphatic victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. Not the result our points leader wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Well, there was a lot of incredible driving out there today, Crofty, but if I had to pick someone, it's got to be Sergio Perez. Fantastic driving.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So, victory for Valtteri Bottas and Mercedes with a 1-2 to finish their double season, with Hamilton becoming the Drivers' Champion and Mercedes easily clinching the Constructors. But yeah, points for Gasly, Sainz, Perez in 8th, Stroll with a great run in 7th. I had to point out, everyone did a 2-stop, apart from Sebastian Vettel here, doing a 4-stop strategy. So not sure what Aston Martin was thinking. Still beat cars in this Grand Prix. So yeah, don't know if there was safety cars that I don't know. Can't explain that one. But yeah, Lundgaard finishes his last race for us in 18th position. I don't think we will be re-signing him. He hasn't scored a point for us this year. I need drivers that can score points. Hopefully, we'll be able to sign somebody that delivers better performances than Christian did over the course of the season. Obviously, I need a better car as well. That would help. So. But we've constantly outperformed him pretty much in every Grand Prix. He's sometimes, at the stronger AI tracks, he can out-qualify me from time to time. Or if I just don't put in the performance like at Melbourne, he will out-qualify me. But other than that, he never really gets through the Q2 unless a few cars, like in Melbourne, where I didn't beat him. And then a couple cars didn't qualify as well. Anyway, there's the final results. We finished with 46 points, 8th place in the Constructors, which was also 12th place in the Drivers with the 46 points. You can see Mercedes 247 points clear at the top. Unbelievable season from those guys. At the start of the season, obviously, the graph was close with them and Red Bull, but they've just out-developed Red Bull. And Red Bull have actually are on a similar performance to now McLaren and Ferrari. They've had a poor season with their development of their car, have Red Bull. So, yeah, interesting because they have the same engine as us. I don't think it's engine related. I think it's chassis and aero related because the Honda engine has been pretty good for us. We're like the third in terms of power unit on the graphic. It says that they've got the third best power unit, and you can see here it was the energy store that failed on us. But yeah, it says we have the third best power unit on the grid this season for most of the season. We're just really lacking in aerodynamics and chassis. But anyway, Fernando Alonso, 2 I wanted to sign, but we didn't meet his demands because we didn't have enough money, actually, to sign Fernando. We didn't save enough, unfortunately, so we can't sign him. Moved on to the next best option. I went for a younger driver, because we had money for him, but he didn't meet his facility requirements for the aerodynamics, so that's unfortunate. Couldn't sign Raikkonen or Vettel either for experience because they were too much money. Mick Schumacher, next option for a young driver with good pace rating, and we don't meet his requirements for the personnel department because we haven't got that spec one. Next driver for an option, I went with Esteban Ocon, who has good, decent enough experience, but with good race craft, good awareness. Not the best with the pace, but still better than Christian Lundgaard. So we met his demands and were able to go into a bidding war here with Alpine. It's like a driver auction kind of thing. So it's us and Alpine bidding for the rights to Esteban Ocon, and no other team is interested in his rights. So it's a mano battle between us and Alpine, and we'd get a quick bid in there for 6 million or 5.95 million, sorry, and we would get the job done. And we almost ran out of balance there as well. So luckily for us, Esteban Ocon has been signed by us. He is now a Zeno Racing driver to replace Christian Lundgaard. So that's good news for us. We get a better driver in that can hopefully deliver point scoring finishes for us, and hopefully is a long-term option.
Well, it's great to be back at your headquarters, and I've got to say, an awful lot's changed since we were last here. Let's dive in with some questions. It was great to see your teammate at the recent charity event. But with more races on the horizon, are you not concerned that these kind of distractions could hinder their performance? Your team's had their first win in Formula One. Is this a sign of things to come? Ocon had to sit out the 2019 season after failing to secure his seat at Racing Point. Do you think this has made him eager to prove himself at your team? Oh, I've heard rumours you're having cash flow issues at the moment. Is this because of overinvestment in drivers and facilities, or is it something a bit more serious? Other teams have invested more in their facilities than you have. Are you happy with what you have, or is there a cash flow issue? Well, thanks a lot for inviting us here. It's been fantastic.
So now, after that interview with Buxton there, just looking at certain things where we can update the car. We can update tyre wear here, going into round 1 next year, so we can do that straight away. We can also get a DRS upgrade here, which is, we'll do that, because we've got the coin to spend it. We might as well spend it. And then, also, the only other upgrade we could do was on the durability side, so we're going to do that. And it was free anyway, so we will do that. I'll try to do another one, but it wouldn't let me because of the department capped. But anyway, after the season here, got a nicer boost for acclaim level for both me, for Ocon, and the team as a whole. So that was really good as a, end this. I think that's based off the whole season. We're now at level 11. We've gone from level 9 to 11. We were level 10 for a little bit, then it dropped us back to level 9. But we now get $20 million to spend on facilities and upgrades to our HQ, so that should be really good for us. You can see here our performance over the course of the season, and Ocon's in the Alpine car. Hopefully he has a better season driving for us next season. So yeah, anyway, moving on now to the calendar. And I'm not going to do the full 23 races. I'm going to do 16 races just to get through Season 2 a little bit quicker, and then maybe Season 3 I'll do the full calendar. So I had to decide which tracks I wanted to have on the calendar. I wanted to have Imola in Portugal because I've never raced in my career mode around those tracks. I've actually never raced around Portugal. Still haven't done a full race on that track. I've done some time trial, that's about it. Imola I've done a leg race on. So also Saudi Arabia, I've never done a race there. So that's going to be the season finale. We got rid of Abu Dhabi, don't like that track. Got rid of Russia because of all... we don't like that track, and B, I can't get around racing at that track with what's happening in that country, so I hopefully don't have to make a video with that track ever again. So anyway, I got rid of Mexico because I had to cut one of them. I also got rid of Japan now, you'll see here, because it's not one of my favourite circuits and I'd rather keep the other ones. I got rid of also Netherlands. I think I got rid of a few more there. I've run out of time there. I've edited it too fast. But anyway, post-season options now. I've kept with the same sponsor, Echo. They give you the most money with an achievable goal bonus, quite easily achievable goal bonus. So that was no problem to sign with them. It's the most signing bonus. It's the most goal bonus. It's not the most weekly income per week, but when you achieve your goals, which you do because they're so easy, you get more money over the course of the season. Now coming to engine, I was looking at the engine options here, but I've ended up deciding sticking with Honda because it was the cheapest, and I want to spend, while the Honda engine is good enough, it keeps up with the other engines, it was fine. We had the third best power unit last season. Obviously it might be a starting base a little bit slower, but looking at this, I thought I want to spend my money on facilities rather than the engine, so that's what I decided to do. Now, I did spend my money on facility upgrades, but I can't show you that because then it shows you the car, next year's car, which I'm not going to show you yet. I'm going to wait to show you that until the next episode, which will be the first episode of the new season, and then in that episode I'll show you what upgrades I've made to the facility. Here I was having a look to see who Alpine replaced Ocon with, and they just replaced him with Lundgaard, who was a former Alpine Academy driver. So he stays on the grid through Alpine, and he's probably also the most developed F2 driver from the game because of his season with us. So here's a look at last year's results anyway, which is all good and well. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. A bit disappointing with the retirement, but looking up with the signing of Esteban Ocon and a new car and new facilities. So hopefully things are turning the corner and we can start getting more consistent performances in the near future. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like. More episodes to come, so subscribe to the channel for those. And until the first race around Bahrain, I'll see you guys next time. Have a happy Easter. And yeah, until next time, see you later.